Hey, this is Comeback Liners fantasy update, and I'm here with Comeback Liner host Kyle and myself, Matt, and we're just going through some quick week 3 updates. So, week 4 already.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
in week 4 already.
Time is flying by. So, Kyle, what are some quick hits and spits for
All right, well,
fantasy?
if you are weak in the outfield right now, my best bet for you is picking up David Dahl from the Rockies. They've got injuries and they've got a whole bunch of people who aren't performing, and this kid was a top prospect. He's available. He's only 18% owned currently, but I can guarantee you by probably tomorrow or the day after, he is going to be owned probably by half the leagues.
Yeah, I was really high on Dow going into the year, and then he kind of fell off, but now he's back again. So, yeah.
He was hurt, and he had a bunch of weird stuff happen to him. It was just difficult. But, I mean, this is a 20-25 homer guy who's high contact, hits in Coors Field, and he's hitting fourth in the lineup tonight.
Yep.
So I mean,
he's hitting fourth.
He's hitting
in the lineup.
fourth in that
Yeah.
lineup. So you're looking
huge.
at I mean, LeMahieu, Blackman, and
all doing great fantasy
Arenado all in
years.
front of him.
All insane fantasy years too.
Yeah.
If you need help in outfield, what I would go for target, try to buy low on a Giancarlo Stanton. You know, while he's down in the dumps over there in Yankeeville
While he's
with
striking
Sanchez.
himself into a hole.
But he is definitely great buy low candidate because he hit 60 home runs or 59 home runs last year. He should be great.
Yeah, definitely. If you can also get your hands on Rizzo, buying low right now is a good idea as well.
Yes, Anthony Rizzo. We are diehard Cubs fans. We know that he's bound to come back, and he will come back. I think the back injury is not a concern. I think you guys are good to go to pull the trigger on Anthony Rizzo.
Now, if you're looking for another guy to pick up, you say you've got Bogarts who's out as shortstop, you lost another shortstop, or your shortstop's not performing, or your second baseman's not performing. Infielder Dan Robertson with Tampa. I mean, he's only owned in 10% of the leagues right now. He was a top 15 prospect about 3 or 4 years ago. Last year he was awful. This year he is hitting everything. He's not hitting for a whole lot of power, but he's never been a power guy. He's usually a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk guy in the minors, and he's available in 90% of fantasy leagues across all formats right now.
Interesting. Okay, so if you're still on the shortstops and say you have an abundance and say you have Javi Baez on your team,
Sell.
I would definitely entertain the option of selling if you could get a good enough package. Don't sell him for anything because Baez did have elite level tool set going into the league, and he might be materializing, but he still has some serious concerns regarding his plate discipline. So, and Kyle and I both know that, hey, this guy swings at everything. Until he fixes that, he will be exploited. So watch out. He's just hot right now. He's a stellar talent until he fixes his plate discipline. I would not.
Yeah, while he's on a hot streak, ride him. But if you can, and you can get somebody on the hook who wants to give you some higher level value for him, I suggest taking it because I don't expect his hot streak to last forever.
Yeah, and that also goes doubly, since we're talking shortstops, with Didi Gregorius of the Yankees. I think he's ranked second in Yahoo, and he's got 6 home runs, and that is a dangerous sell high because there's no way that guy is maintaining
You know what,
that.
though? I would definitely sell high on him if I was able to. However, he is hitting in the middle of a lineup. He's the only left-handed hitter in that lineup. So,
That's interesting. He's the only lefty.
he's the only left. Look at it.
He'll get his plate appearances.
He's
Now,
gonna get
whether it's good, it's going to be.
He's going to be hitting either 3 or 4 in that lineup because you've got Sanchez, Judge, and Stanton all in front of, or all around him, and it's all 3 right-handers.
Yeah, so you'll get a lot of runs. So the key is if he can maintain some kind of on base, you could be confident to keep him. But I am not confident that he'll maintain this pace. That's a sell high for me, even though he does have salvageable value batting at the top of the lineup. But that is all dependent on whether he can actually make base.
Continued contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So some other great names that are actually continuing. There's a lot of hot hitters with Betts, Machado, Trout, Harper, no-brainers. They're going to continue to stud out. So if you do want to buy high, try to buy one of those. They ain't slowing down anytime soon. But if you want to buy low, get Joey Votto. Joey Votto or Corey Seager. They're both bona fide studs forever. This is the right time.
Votto's numbers do not make sense to what Votto can do.
No,
I mean,
absolutely not. And we all know
he's striking out at a rate I've never seen him strike out at.
Yeah, so we know that's not his talent. He's got an entire career of plate appearances behind him, so you should not be afraid of him.
If you're looking for reliever help, and saves are pretty much locked up by everybody, but you want a guy who's going to throw you some good innings and he's got a high K9. Tony Cingrani is finally healthy and he's pitching in LA, and dude, that guy when he is on is next to unhittable.
Some pitching that if you need some pitching help, I would actually look into. If you want to buy high, Jose Barrios. I've been high on this guy for a long time. He's got great stuff. He got
does.
whipple ball, slider.
Did you watch that game in Puerto
I did
Rico?
not, but I've seen enough of
Holy
Barrios
cow.
at bats. I have him in Dynasty League. He's great. And if
Yeah,
you
I
want
traded him to you.
thank you, by the way. And if you want to buy low, James Paxton of Seattle, I think he's great. I think he's got great stuff. High K per 9. I think his walk will eventually go down, which will reduce his whip, and he will be a great buy low candidate. And maybe a little sell high would be Corbin. I do like Corbin.
Corbin
stuff,
was
but
an
there's no way
ace
he's
at
that
one
good.
point,
He's
but he
not
was
that good.
never this good.
No, not at all.
I agree 100%. Also, if you take a look right now, I think the team that's leading the league in home run or in offense is the Braves. There's no way Swanson's going to be as good as he is.
No, he's the number one overall.
I understand that, but he's hitting 350 currently.
Yeah.
I mean, he's leading the league in hits. He's leading the league in average. He's leading. I don't see it staying. I mean, if you can say somebody wants to offer you Jose Ramirez for him, pull the trigger.
Won't happen, but
You never know.
so that is our quick week 4 fantasy baseball update. So please tune in. Please smash that subscribe button right down there. Much appreciated, and we'll be back with more fantasy advice and regular content going forward. Please subscribe.
Have a good night.